You should see the performance of the space of safety for you. As these, well, you beings like to call it dimensions. But as these layers of your auric field start opening, you're going to see and feel what you've called in. And then you need to put it in its place. Because there's an auditorium there and you're the speaker within it. So you sit everyone down. Take charge of your class. And you're going to find out that your class that you're teaching are the ones that would carry the thoughts that you played with. So you're responsible to educate them also. And you create what you call a gathering of spiritual forces around you that are willing to participate because they're getting an opportunity to advance. You have a lot going on. You have countries, I'm not going to name any, that are going through an exorcism themselves in consciousness, and it's exploding. The church that trains exorcists don't have enough now. So what you're going to have to learn to do when this thing starts hitting all over is you direct those negligent forces into trees. You do. Into the tree. Because that's a life process, and there's an escape out in the oxygen process. It's a constrictive thing, yet there's movement in it. You have, and you're going through a test. And this is one of the wisdom tests. Basically, how wise are you? The best thing to understand is God's wise. Think, pay attention to where your thoughts are coming from which direction, as it enters the body, left side, right side, back, front, up or from below. And sometimes you feel an appendage hit with a particular thought. Your arm will jerk, this will jerk, your foot will move. That's a notification there. You need to pay attention to those things. What were you thinking when that happened? I'm not just talking about in the store. I'm talking when you're getting corrected in your own space at home in your private moment. Because you're getting a merger now of selves coming in. You have 7 divine participants, 1 for each chakra. And they are really working in a manner to, I'm going to say, perform exceptional duties. So they can get an A on the exam, so to speak. They know what to do, really, literally. And this is where you have to go beyond the thinking and breathing for a second. Don't move anything. And in that little millisecond, you've got your healing thing. But it'll take time for it to be conclusively understood within the self of you. And that time is direction, is up. So the man of the Om lives here. Before it is saying Om. And that's what you're feeling coming down your left hand now. The practice of this movement has not been done before. You can do a little 5-minute meditation with this. With the Om in the chest, listen beyond thinking, and feel where in the body the resonance occurs, because the Om doesn't talk. It knows. The talking is done on the receiving side, inside. Always, when conditioning yourself to the use of Om, is thankfulness for the Om being there, the symbol of it. And then you'll learn how to work it, with it, because it comes up into the head for you. And then you learn not to talk so much, because others have the privilege of it, and they need to. They need to. Because that's the only way they learn, really. By talking, and then learning not to. Learning the effect, and realizing the effect, and the control of the effect that you have. Yeah. That's why your politicians talk all the time. Manipulate ones. One of your philosophers said a thing about the politicians. They're like diapers. Need to be changed often because they're full of something. But the heed wasn't taken then, and that was in the last century. 2 centuries. So now is the time to understand thinking and where your thoughts come from. Directional finder, put the needle in place, and do you want to contemplate that or not? Sometimes the thoughts, most likely now, are coming for you to get things done. Those are the ones you should pay attention to. Fit into some schedule of performance for the doing of that particular thought. And then you find yourself aligning with the higher selves of you that are looking out for your particular good. Yours. Because you need to understand your good before you can have a good effect on others. You do. You need to slow down in these processes, back up into the spine, and consider yourself behind the Om. And then come forward into it and feel it. And what it will do, it'll send a gold frequency through your body. And it sends what you call emergency signals to the bloodstream. what you would say. Instant healing process taking place through all sections of the body, all at once. Because the bones feel the reflection of the Holy Spirit when Om is contemplated. And they like it. They like it. All of them do. From your toes, your fingers, skeleton, totally. Is a unit of perfection because it moves and you don't know how it does, literally. Through electricity, muscle movement, and command structure within the self. We call it automatic things. But you're getting cognizant understanding now because you're feeling it in you. And that's what we're doing. We say things, that's this time, space, we say. Yet there's also for others further down the road, they're not even here, they need it. And they'll get it. Because that's the process. You are actually helping to hold that energy in a grounding aspect here, in this small space, to create the functioning so these wordings can take place. And as others gather the information, there's an acceleration. There are not many that can handle the truth of themselves. Don't worry about anyone else's truth. Know what yours is. Because even though you've made mistakes, as you say, it got you this far. You learn how to correct yourselves, little bit. And then you have a what is called ability for the understanding of the rewards of that thing. The correction of self. I will say this for you now. You're in the period of the great whining, soon to come. Within, I would say you're 2 weeks in it now. Just started. And you're going to find the reason for it. It was the lack of prayers. They'll know that within themselves. But it's not only saying the words of the prayers, you have to know how to say it. And you should do it in private alone, quietly. And let the tears come. No need to have a grand display in front of everyone. The grand display in front of everyone is basically teaching how to go through the prayer. And then you take that teaching home to your private closet and work with yourself on it. So the good news is you're going to find yourself in booster rockets. for the elevation of self. That means your head needs to be erect, your spine straight. Those thoughts going to descend in you, come down to your pelvic, turn around and go right back up. Winding. And when it does that, that's a greater one of you organizing all your spiritual entities in there, even the little tiny ones you can't see, microbes walking, for the performance of the duty called you. Not all seeds bring forth flowers. Not all flowers are the same. I've told you before, you're in seed form. You're in seed form. You've already come out of one seed form from the fetus to you. Now you're in the development phase of your own thoughts, manifest workings. Seed form. You are that now. And you're going to have similar experience as you had coming out of the womb, in another revelatory sense of being somewhere else, that you're going to learn to come back, understand yourself, because it occurs in the throat chakra here, by the thymus. They learn to shut up. You're going to need to do that for the performance of Buddhist miracles. There's going to be needed quick healing. Yeah. And there's a reason for all the suffering. You call it some of it karma. But some of it is they enjoy the attention they're getting in their suffering. You can tell them. And you can tell them, when you're through suffering, get up. But they'd have to change. They don't want to get up. But you'll understand what that means later. There's actually enjoyment and safety there, they think. Because someone's thinking about them. I want you to think of your friends and your family now. Your spine straight, the Om in your chest, Om in your head, them there too, for understanding of something more than themselves. Peace, Aubrey. Protection and joy. Always remember protection, because you're going to places that you haven't even read about, but have heard about, and doubt they exist. They do. And the beings there do exist, and they're doing what they're doing, and they know it. So protection is for you. Primarily for you. And then also for the others you're teaching or you will be speaking to. Because there are doorways you do not want to open. Not open. Yet those doorways are being opened, and they're coming out of them to look for assistance. But they need to be put in their place so they know that's what they're looking for. Otherwise, they're going to tell you what to do. Remember, you came from divine heritage. Always remember that. Your posture's upright for a reason. You have hips and joints and movement provided electrically through you for the force of function. That means doing something. Doing something. And the doing something, you will find out later, is always preparation. For the next level of awakening. Preparation for it. Preparation. And prayers, inquietude of yourself, is one of the ingredients in this preparation cake. Difficulty for you, poor ones here, with Yuma, you won't be able to say you haven't heard about it. You don't know. Didn't know. You know now. Health to the body, mind, and spirit. The mind is what you take with you when you leave the body. That's all you have. That's why you remember being out of the body. That's why you remember what you did in the body. That's the mind. Actually, what you call memory patterns. That's all you have. And once your mind becomes understood to be aware, learning how to do it, then you bring the Om with you. Because you don't have one out there. You bring it up, you bring it into your brain here, and as you work with it, your mind develops the presence of understanding Om. Thinking and thought, that thing. And then what you're going to find out is you're really a mathematical model made up of zeros and ones. On and off, that's all. In series and sequence. Patternings. That's how your computers run. Not by words, by zeros and ones. But lay it upon lay it upon lay it upon lay it upon lay it, so all you see is pictures and words. That's what your body is. All you see is pictures and hear the words. But your zeros and ones running through an electrical circuit. Bone. Soon you're going to understand what the zero is and what the one is. It's only two. When you get a combination, there's you. One, two, three. You're the third. You're number two. So this evening I'm activating a little bit of the Om presence there. I want you to be careful how you use it. See the results. Analyze. Come to a conclusion within yourself of how to proceed with the next one. Because there will be an event associated with the applications to the Om. Circumstance. Peace to all beings. Peace to all beings. Health to the body and the mind you're going to carry, and spirit. And when you find out your mind and your spirit are one and the same, you're going to join another family. You will no longer be a recluse, hidden away. We are through. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.